Hey guys, and welcome back again to another flashlight review. Today we're going to be looking at this new light I just got in the mail, the Convoy S2 Plus in brass. And it's been a while since I've reviewed a Convoy flashlight. For those of you who don't know, Convoy is my favorite budget brand, and I hesitate to even call it a budget brand as it implies that there's several drawbacks, perhaps sometimes serious drawbacks. But in reality, it's quite the opposite with Convoy, and I find that their lights actually outperform many of my more expensive lights. So yeah, I think they're the perfect light for some of you who are beginners or enthusiasts. They're quite well known in the flashlight community. Pretty much anyone who's interested in learning how to build, modify a high quality flashlight at a very affordable price. Anyway, I was browsing their website and I came across this brass version of their S2 Plus and had to get one. As you can see here in the Convoy website, it's selling for $38.58 Australian, which is pretty cheap when you compare it to their copper version, $56 over here. So for some reason, it's half price, and brass is very similar to copper in terms of heat dissipation, heat conductivity. So yeah, I think this is a really good offer at the moment. And let's have a click. Let's go through a little bit closer. Actually, I've got the window open up over here, but you can see it comes with a few different options. So you can get all these LEDs here. With mine, I got the SFT40 in 3000K. And for this particular model that I'm reviewing, I've got the 8 amp 12 group buck driver. So it's brighter. It also runs a lot hotter, but yeah, I think it works quite well in this host, given that, you know, you've got that better heat transmission through the copper or the brass shell. I think that 8 amp regulated buck driver option would be perfect for this light. And this is probably, like I said, the best value brass flashlight out there right now. You just get so much for what you pay. So let's have a look at what you get in the box. Pretty basic. So this is the light itself, and you don't get a battery unless you opt for one. So I'm just using an older 18650 cell. I've got the box here as well. You do get a very basic lanyard, and the box, as you can see here, just has some specifications on the back. So the instruction manual is on the website. So you can see here, there's just all the different modes that are available, gives you some instructions on how to turn on and off the light and how to switch different UIs. So in this 12 group model, there's 12 different UIs that you can switch from. And yeah, it just tells you which flash means which mode when you're selecting it. So here is a side-by-side comparison of my S2 Plus in brass compared to my smooth copper S2 Plus. I've got the titanium, micro arc oxidation, and normal anodized. So these two are aluminium, obviously titanium, and there is a slight color difference, you know, between the brass and the copper. The copper looks a little more pinkish, as you can see there, whereas the brass looks just warmer, almost like gold. And yeah, I would say has a very similar weight to the copper version, significantly heavier than the titanium and the normal aluminium models as well. But yeah, it is going to hold on to and conduct heat better. Little close up of the Convoy S2 Plus in brass, and as you can see, the build quality is incredible for this price point. After all these years of collecting flashlights, I still don't understand how Convoy managed to keep their prices so low. And I noticed also on the website that Simon offers a 1-year warranty on all lights ordered on his official website. So that's the convoylight.com website. You can check that out in the video description. I think this version looks better than the smooth copper version that I reviewed a while back. For some reason, I just thought it looked a bit unfinished. And the clear coat, as well, as you can see, after some time, when it wears away and there's no knurling, it's a lot more noticeable, the little scratches and things. You can remove that clear coat very easily though with a bit of steel wool. I like this simple knurling on the battery tube in the rear. Cutouts here on the head as well for heat dissipation. And you've got the single switch on the rear. You can also install other metal switches from Convoy. And you'll notice on, for example, the S21G, you've got a metal switch there. You can get a version for the S2 Plus as well. Some of them are colored. And yeah, you do get this also, this clip or lanyard attachment there in the back. There's two places that the light unscrews, so under the head and at the tail. And it's very easy to disassemble the light. You don't need any special tools at all, even to get into the pill there in the head if you want to do some modifications to the LED or the driver, even the reflector. Very easy to swap bits and pieces over. And that definitely comes in handy if you've got multiple versions of the S2 Plus. Being able to just Lego bits in and out is super useful. Just a normal smooth bezel here, no crenulation. And I've got the version with the 3000K SFT40. Difficult to kind of focus it. There we go. And yeah, it comes with that 8 amp buck driver, smooth reflector in there, which produces a very throwy beam. Do like as well that the glass is slightly recessed on the front, protects it from damage if you drop the light. Now, in terms of the UI, there's 12 mode groupings that you can choose from. I've chosen the mode grouping that goes from 100%, 35%, 10, 1, and 0.5%. And this just gives me a wide range of modes to choose from. But I've also turned off the memory mode, which you can do through the settings, which, yeah, makes the light always start at 100%. So for me, that's useful. Like if I'm using it at night and I want to make sure that, it always turns on at 100% first, it's going to do that. There's also other mode groupings that you can choose. For example, that will just have a 100% mode no matter what you do. So yeah, I really like that Convoy have the ability to change all those different UIs, program in the one that you want. Basically, you press once to turn on, press once to turn off. There's no halfway press. But yeah, there are other switches that you can install that Convoy sell that allow you to add in maybe like a forward switch. So you get a momentary mode, for example. But yeah, the stock model is still pretty good for most purposes. So in order to switch UIs, you just have to keep pressing that back switch 20 times until you get to this point where the light starts flashing. So there we go. Then 2 flashes for memory mode, and then it just goes back to normal. So you can select the first or the second option there in order to change the memory mode or the mode of the light. But yeah, if you have any troubles with that, just let me know down below in the comments. I'll give you a hand. So I ran a couple of tests with my Audible Lightmaster Pro, and you can see here on the 100% mode, the light pretty much starts to drop immediately as soon as you turn it on. But you do get just over a minute and a bit of runtime where the light is between 80 and 100% of output. By the 2-minute mark, the light is on about half of its output, and it gets pretty hot after a few minutes. And you can see at the 8-minute mark, there's a bit of this zigzag pattern. It's where I think the light is just trying to alternate the current to cool it down a bit more. Did turn it off after 10 minutes as it was getting pretty hot. Second ceiling bounce test on the 35% mode, and you can see the light pretty much maintains between 95 and 100% output for the duration of the test. But around the 15-minute mark, you can see there, that same up and down regulation pattern, which I think is a way for the light to just regulate the output, regulate the heat. Also ran a bunch of tests on my Audible Lightmaster Pro, and you can see here on the 100% mode, I got 269 meters of throw. Pretty respectable for a light of this size. You've got quite a shallow reflector in there, and the CRI was excellent, 95 to 98 CRI, and I think this is what's unique with these 3000K versions of the SFT40. You really get the best of both worlds. You get nice warm output, lots of throw and high CRI. I mean, what more could you want? So some considerations to be aware of if you're thinking about getting the S2 Plus in brass. The first consideration is that there's no onboard charging or included battery. So yeah, you can add a battery for a few dollars though on the Convoy website, but in terms of onboard charging, yeah, you're going to need to get an external charger, or if you've got a second flashlight that you can use as a makeshift charger, that also works. Second consideration is that it's pretty heavy. It's not a light flashlight. The thing weighs about 200 grams. So yeah, if you're carrying it around in your pocket, you're definitely going to feel it. Third consideration is that it gets hot on 100% and even on 35% after a few minutes. And I think this is fine, as I prefer to be able to access those higher modes that normally wouldn't be available on lights of this size. A lot of manufacturers tend to be more conservative in terms of output. And yeah, if you need to use the light for long periods, I suggest choosing a lower mode or just a low power grouping in the UI. Third consideration is that you don't get a clip, but you can get another one from Convoy or use most 18650 friction rings. This ring here came from my Convoy M2. Another consideration is that the brass version of the S2 Plus is a bit more expensive than the aluminium versions, and just looking at the website, it's about $10 more expensive in Australian dollars. For you guys in the States, you'd probably be paying about 20 bucks or something like that for the S2 Plus in brass, which I think is an excellent deal. I challenge you to find something of better value out there with all the features and the performance of this light. And of course, the last consideration I didn't mention before is that there is a clear coat on this light. So it protects it from tarnishing, but some people do prefer that antique kind of look. In that case, you can just take some steel wool and remove it quite easily. Overall, I know there's a ton of companies out there that produce so-called exotic metal flashlights made from things like brass, titanium, copper, etc. But most of them just slap on a pretty heavy premium due to small batch production lines. So if you're not fussy about the design and you're looking for the best possible deal on a bronze flashlight, I think the bronze S2 Plus might be the one for you. If you have questions, let me know in the comments. I'll get back to you. Surely I've missed something out. And if you found the video helpful, do me a big favor and click the like button. It helps me to get this out to more people and grow my channel. And if you want to see more flashlight reviews, keep up to date with the latest news, make sure you subscribe. S2 Plus brass with the 3000K SFT40. And this is on 100%, reaching all the way to the back of those trees. Just enough visibility. There is also some ambient light as well. As you can see, the sky is still a little bit of light there. You know, I can step it down through the different modes, so 35%, 10%, 1%, which is only really visible in the foreground, and 0.1%, back to 100%. And I just love the tint of this beam, high CRI as well. And it's just so easy on the eyes, especially when you're out at night. You don't have this really bright white or bluish kind of beam in your eyes. Probably one of my favorite LEDs, the 3000K version of this SFT40. And even on the 10% mode, this is good enough as a walking light. Will do just fine on that 10% mode. 100% does get pretty hot. I mean, at the moment, I'm feeling pretty hot. I'll go for a little walk so you can see the beam profile. Convoy S2 Plus brass, bit of a shorter range here, and I mean this is on 100%, but 35 will do just fine. Go for a little walk.